Lagos, the city of hustle, noise, and endless choices. They say here, you either run fast or you get left behind. Every morning, I woke up to the sound of Danfo drivers honking, hawkers shouting, and the world telling me that if I wanted to survive, I had to take shortcuts. But deep in my heart, I kept wondering, must I follow the crowd, or is there another way? I grew up in Yaba, in a small room with my mother. She sold fabrics at Balogun Market, sweating under the hot sun just to put food on our table. Life wasn't easy. Sometimes we slept on empty stomachs, but my mother always reminded me, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things will be added unto you. I wanted to believe that, I really did, but around me my friends were moving fast. They wore new sneakers, used flashy phones, and threw parties. I often ask myself, am I the fool here? My friends believed the only way to make it in Lagos was through fraud. They called it smartness, Yahoo Yahoo, as everyone knows it. To them, it wasn't crime, it was survival. They mocked me because I refused. They said, Chinedu, you dey dull yourself, book no go feed you. Now this narrow path you dey follow, we go keep you broke forever. Their words pierced me. And though I shook my head, a small voice whispered, maybe they are right. Maybe you're wasting your time. Then came the night that changed everything. They dragged me to a party in Lekki. I still remember it clearly. The blinding lights, the music so loud it shook my chest. The cars parked outside like a showroom. Inside, girls laughed and danced. Bottles of champagne popped like water. Money sprayed in the air as if it had no value. I stood there watching, part amazed, part jealous. My friends lived like kings. I thought, just one deal, just one job, and I too could live like this. But that same night, I had a dream. In the dream, I saw two rows before me. One was wide, smooth, and full of people laughing, singing, enjoying themselves. I followed them, but suddenly the music turned into screams. The road collapsed into fire, and the laughter became cries of regret. The other road was narrow, full of stones and thorns. Only a few people walked on it. They stumbled, they struggled, but at the end, there was a bright light that shone so beautifully, I couldn't describe it. When I woke up, my heart was heavy. I knew God was speaking to me. But like many people, I ignored the warning. I told myself, just once, only once, then I will stop. And so I fell. I joined my friends for a deal. The money came faster than I could imagine. In one night, I held in my hands what my mother would never make in a year. My heart pounded with both fear and excitement. I told myself it was a blessing, a reward for my suffering. I bought gifts for my mother, expecting to see her smile. But when I placed them before her, she looked me in the eye with tears and said, "My son, what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?" Her words pierced my heart more than any insult could. For the first time, I felt ashamed, but still I didn't stop. Then it happened. One morning, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission stormed my friend's apartments. The raid was brutal. Some of my friends were dragged away in chains. Others tried to run, but were caught. I escaped, but barely. My chest burned as I ran through the streets, hearing sirens behind me. That day, I realized how close I was to losing everything. With nowhere else to go, I hid in a small church in Surulere. My clothes were torn, my hands shaking, my heart beating as if it would break my ribs. I sat quietly at the back as the pastor preached. His words cut through me like a sword. He read from Matthew 7:14. "But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." I felt as if God himself was speaking to me. I broke down in tears. For the first time in years, I prayed sincerely, "Lord, forgive me. I don't want this life anymore. Help me to walk the narrow path." That night was the beginning of my change. It wasn't easy. I had to start small. I began tutoring children, teaching them mathematics and English for little pay. I helped in church, carrying chairs, sweeping, doing whatever I could. I even hustled in the market, loading goods just to earn an honest naira. My friends mocked me, saying I was wasting my youth. But something inside me had changed. For the first time, I felt peace, real peace. Months turned to years, and life slowly began to take shape. I didn't have riches, but I had dignity. I didn't ride flashy cars, but I could sleep at night without fear of sirens. My hands were not stained with guilt, and my heart was light. Looking back now, I understand. The narrow path is not easy. It is filled with struggle, sacrifice, and sometimes loneliness. But it leads to life, to peace, to hope. The broad path looks sweet at first, but it ends in destruction. My name is Chinedu, and I chose the narrow path. And now I ask you, which path will you choose?